purpose of this record.
This is the podcast about the golden age of hip-hop, dance, 808 freestyle, the culture, the happenings, and the stories of early hip-hop from the artists who were there. Across all socials, subscribe at iTunes, iHeart, YouTube, Stitcher, and many more at Old School Rewind. Welcome to the Old School Rewind podcast with Aaron Goodwin.
Right there, my big-time voice man, Don Amici. Thank you, sir. I'm Aaron Goodwin. Jay King from Club Nouveau guest this week.
You say a one for the trouble, two for the time. Come on, y'all, let's break this.
All righty. Another Friday. We're back at it. Aaron Goodwin, the podcast in the iTunes top 5. Yeah, click podcasts. Go to iTunes right now. I just want people to see it. I screen snap it. I put it up on the socials. No, really, seriously. I want you to go to iTunes right now. Click on podcast. When podcast comes up, to the right side, go down on the categories, look for music, and hit music. And looky there. See that purple logo right there? Old school. Purple was my grandmother's favorite color. But for the past 7 or 8 weeks, we're at 10,000 downloads a month or so, having some of the greatest artists in rhythm radio on the show. And having some of the best artists in the start of hip-hop and dance music, the classic age, if you will, on my show is a treat. This, the podcast, tries to take you back in time to the days when the ladies were hitting up that hair with Aquanet, right? And the trucks went boom. Well, they were about to. They might not have started just yet, but they were about to. And that boom also was going down in the clubs. If you're my age, pushing 50, I'll be 50 in a month. 50 in a month. Ugh. Dance, breakdance, the beginning of 808 music, the rolling 808 drum machine, bump systems, hip-hop, the culture, the clothes, the colors. It was all being built unknowingly by the artists, songs, and styles that made the generation. So, I decided after being on the radio and programming radio stations for 30 years, I wanted to do something for me, and I'm a fan. And there's a lot of us out there, you know, young white kids, young Mexican kids, farm communities, small towns, not necessarily from a concrete jungle or a metropolis, if you will, out here in the cornfields. I don't know that a lot of these dance and hip-hop artists, unless they're in this state, realize that, like every state, there's an agriculture area and there's an area that's not in the city. And I think that's more so big cities are the minority, right? These artists were hitting us. And for us, we'd have to go to the biggest city around to feel the vibe that was dance or hip-hop. I guess you had to be there. Well, we're going to take you back there, hopefully. I ask you to comment on iTunes and share, please. Stitcher, wherever you get it. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, share, and howdy-do! Here come the show. Hit that music. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's nice right there. Ooh, get some of that. I know where I was. Where were you, Jay King from Club Nouveau in 1980?
Graduating from high school.
Where'd you go to high school at, Jay King?
Well, I went to high school with 3 different high schools. I went to Grant Union High School in Sacramento, and then I went to Hogan High, and then Vallejo High in Vallejo, and I graduated from Vallejo. I'm not from Vallejo.
Okay.
I'm from Sacramento and Vallejo.
Gotcha.
I'm from Northern California, born in Oroville, lived in San Francisco, raised in Sacramento, but my father lived in Vallejo, so I was back and forth between Vallejo and Sacramento, so I called both of them home.
Gotcha. And when did the music bug bite you, Jay? Were you in high school still, or?
I always loved music. Always loved music. Played trumpet in junior high and high school, but really didn't think that I would be in music. I was a dancer, so I pop, boom, bop, pow, boo, you know. And I did acting, so I thought I would be a dancer and actor. I never saw myself as a musician, and it wasn't until probably 21, 22 that music became an option for me.
And what year is that?
That is 1983, 84.
Mm-hmm. I'm an 86 version in high school.
86, I got rumors.
Yep. Well, I was my first radio job too. So that's where you start the rhythm format. You're one of those acts that had one of those songs that went against the grain, that wasn't getting played on Rock 40 radio. It wasn't top 40 in the 80s. It was Rock 40. And
Rock 40, that's
Rock
right.
40, it was Def Leppard and Dire Straits, and there was sort of a stigma about getting dance music. Just dance music alone had a racial tinge to it where, this isn't going to be a black radio station. And all of a sudden, look, here comes an influx of the music. And right in the center of 1986, you put out Rumors.
How do rumors get started? It started by the jealous people, and they get mad seeing something they had and somebody else is holding. They tell me that temptation is very hard to resist, but these wicked women, ooh, they just persist. And maybe you think it's cute, but girl, I'm not impressed. I tell you one time only, with my business, please don't mess. When you look at all these rumors surrounding me every day, I just need some time to get away from all these rumors. I can't take it no more.
Well, I'm the producer in the record company in Timex, okay? So I'm not even supposed to be in a band. I'm really the business and the creative side of it.
Right.
But before Timex starts out good, they go and sign a contract after I've worked my butt off to turn this record that I released in February into a hit record in July. The guys that are with me go and sign a contract with another company, which is Daniel Records, behind my back, because I don't have a contract with them because we're all friends.
And that's when friendship always goes bad on a piece of paper, doesn't it?
Well, without one,
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's all about the piece of paper in the end.
I do jealousy about them. I can't tell you why these continue to happen to me. But some people get so jealous of the smallest of all things. I tried to help some friends to help themselves to get their lives intact. They came out spreading rumors. Now I have to come out spreading facts. Let me tell you how it started and where it all began. I guess I was a fool to try and help my broken social friends. They told me if I'd help them, they'd be in debt for life. But when I turned my back to give support, they stabbed me with a knife. I don't need jealous. I don't want the bad talk around.
Timex Social Club, Rumors. How big of it was a song? It had to have gotten you your deal for when you turned into New Club, or for French, should be the Club Nouveau. Club Nouveau, the new club. When did you know that it was a breakout? Being an indie, one of the first type indies to get played in the rhythm format, how did you know you'd made it?
You don't know. It's because it's a battle. It's always an uphill battle. It never stops being an uphill battle. You just know that radio starts to be a different kind of climb for you. In the beginning, it's difficult because you're trying to get your record on the charts. But then once you get your record on the chart, it's difficult because you're trying to get your record up the charts. And then once you start getting your record up the charts, then it's difficult because you're trying to get your record to top 10. And once you get in the top 10, it's difficult because you're trying to get to number one. So the difficulty never stops. And to be honest with you, I didn't know formats, rhythm from R&B because I wasn't in the game like that. I was a novice. I was a new guy. This was a new frontier for me.
I tell you one time only, with my business, please don't mess. When you look at all these rumors surrounding me every day, I just need some time to get away from all these rumors. I can't take it no more. My best friend said there's one I'll never meet, the girl next door. Did you hear that one about Tina? Some say she's much too loose. That came straight from a guy who claims he's tasted her juice. But did you hear that one about Michael? Some say he must be gay. I
I was just struggling to stay alive.
And you found yourself doing it by promoting. What were you promoting and doing first? How did you get in the studio?
Well, first, I sold everything I owned. And, well, my wife was out of town,
No.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah, she left me. She wasn't playing that. And so, it was difficult, man. It was difficult, but the beauty was that I met a couple of DJs that played in clubs. And, you give a DJ $30, $40 in 1986. Shoot, that's some gas, some groceries, some milk for the baby and diapers. You was king of the hill. And so I would take care of the guys that were playing my records, and if I met a DJ who was cool and he knew the club owner or manager, they would let me sell my records in clubs. So that's how I first started. And then just built it from there. Right? But radio was different. R&B radio was owned by a lot of small guys in different cities. So you can go meet Mr. C in Shreveport, Louisiana. You can go meet Swamp Dogg, and he could get you in Mobile, Alabama. Boogaloo could get you on in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh,
yeah.
Swamp Dogg.
Yeah,
That's Lonzo and the Wrecking Crew's buddy, man.
Yeah. Swamp Dogg and guys like that, they were in it like that. There was a underbelly to the music business that could help you walk in. And so a lot of those guys really helped walk me in. They really, in these smaller stations, these P2 and P3 markets, and Rumors just, wherever it played, it did something. It started burning. And I'll never forget, because on the back of my 12-inch, my phone number was there, my address, the address to the apartment I was living in, 410 U Street in Sacramento. And
I've got that.
And you'll see it, and you'll see my numbers on the back of there. And Terry Avery called me one day. Terry Avery was a big-time disc jockey, but a program director at KKDA in Dallas, Texas. And she called my number, and she said, "Is Jay King in?" I said, "This is Jay King." And, there's no caller ID in 1986. And she said, you need to tell your friends to stop calling my radio station. I said, "Excuse me?" She said, "My name is Terry Avery from KKDA. Your friends are calling my radio station, and you got to, tying up my lines." And I said, "Ma'am, I'm in Sacramento. I don't have any friends in Dallas." She said, "You don't have people calling my radio station?" I said, "No, ma'am." She said, "Are you lying to me?" I said, "No, ma'am." She said, "You're telling me the truth. You better get ready because you got a hit record."
Right.
Every time I play your records, my phones light up. And that's when I knew that, man, maybe this record is bigger than I think it is. And then I got an order from Macola Records for 300,000 units.
Wow. And is that a payday for you, Jay?
Absolutely. I'm making, $2.35 a unit. After I pay for everything, I still walk away with $1.35. So it's a big payday for me.
What did it feel like to have some scratch in your pocket off something that you sort of were on the side? Because someone else wrote the song, right?
Right, Chapman Social Club.
Yeah.
But, they wrote it, but I still arranged the record. I still got publishing on it. But more importantly, I own the label. It was on my label. So I'm doing all the paying out. The crazy part was when it was time for me to get the money, I couldn't get all the money because then they sued me. So then we had this lawsuit going, and they're trying to get my master recording that I paid for, and it was just crazy. That's why I wrote Jealousy. So, it wasn't like it was just this clean slate of boom, going to make.
A lot of drama going on. Shit.
Yes, sir. A lot of drama.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So, but you get a gig with Warner Brothers. What was it like the day you signed? Where'd you go to celebrate?
I didn't go anywhere. I was in Sacramento. We was in the middle of making a record, so, and now you got to make the hit record. It was one thing so yeah, we got the deal, but can you make the hit record now? Is Jealousy going to be as big as Rumors? Because they sounded like records. And after Jealousy, where you going to go? In Situation Number 9, Why You Treat Me So Bad, Lean on Me. I mean, they're hits that they're called big records today, but then you don't know. It ain't like you listen to those records saying, "Oh my God, these are smashes." You listen to those records saying, "Oh my God, this might not be good enough." Then you're looking at Rumors thinking, this is just a novelty record. Because that's what it sounded like to you. You know, because nobody knows. Everybody talk about how they knew they had a hit. You don't know. You don't know you got a hit until the public say it.
Until the radio says it.
That's right. Well, the radio can say it don't mean nothing. The radio made a lot of radio hits, but they weren't real.
That's right.
The people got to say it.
Right.
The people tell you if it's a hit or not.
I can't tell you why these things continue to happen to me, but some people get so jealous of the smallest of all things. I try to help some friends to help themselves to get their lives intact. They came out spreading rumors, now I have to come out spreading facts. Let me tell you how it started and where it all began. I guess I was a fool to try and help my broken social friends. They told me if I'd help them, they'd be in debt for life. But when I turned my back to give support, they stabbed me with a knife. Oh no, jealousy. No, I don't want the bad talk.
Situation number 9 is after jealousy. We know about Timex Social Club. We hit jealousy. We know what that's about. What is situation number 9 all about?
That's the worst situation you can be in. Situation number 9. Let me tell you how that came about.
Please.
So my son at the time is a year and a half, and he beatboxes.
Right.
And he does this boom, ta, boom, ta, ta, boom, ta, boom, ta, boom, ta. So we take his drum beat, and then I had friends that were already in the business. They were making money, but they were doing drugs. The drug thing was crazy at that time.
Right.
You know, and so here I am stuck in this flood again. Ooh, I don't know what to do. You know, so this dude, and I haven't got a friend in the world, not even you. So this is, you know, this is drugs. You know, this is a dude who he's battling his own self with the worst situation he gonna put himself in because of his drug use, because of his friend choice, because of, you know, the kind of people that he's hanging out with. Situation number 2 ain't bad, but number 9 ain't good. I thought I was riding really high because I'm here hanging in Hollywood. Because, you know, a lot of times people think, you know, well, I'm around all these Hollywood stars. So, you know, I'm good, you know, but, you know, trouble is trouble. I don't care, you know, who it's with. If it's trouble, it's trouble. So if it's in Hollywood, it's going to be Hollywood trouble. And that just means everybody know about it, you know. And that's why she said, boy, I hate to tell you, but you really need to check yourself. The life that you live in is going to catch up to you. Boy, I think you need some help. Situation number 9 blowing my mind. You about to do your own self in. So it's just really about a guy who just really is self-imploding because of his bad habits.
Were you able to stay away from it, Jay, or?
Oh, I've never drank, never smoked, never done drugs, never done none of it.
I've never drank nothing but water in my whole life. You find that odd? You probably don't.
No, I know. I mean, I drink water and every now and then I drink sodas, but I've never had an alcoholic beverage. I've never been high. I've never smoked a joint, nothing. And I think that's why our group, you know, when you look at Val and Sam, you know, that's why we stayed together for so long. You know, we, pretty clean living. Val and Sam drink, but not heavy drinkers, you know, like, champagne. I think I've seen Samuel have a Long Island iced tea. A funny story about that. The first time Samuel went out on the road with us, I was 24. Samuel was 19. And his father and mother said, look, we're trusting our son with you. That we don't want him drinking or nothing. I said, yes, ma'am. So one day we're in Boston, and they're downstairs in the bar area, and Samuel had the drinking for him. I said, hey man, you got to put that. You can't drink. And he said, this is just a Long Island iced tea. And I said, oh, okay. That's how little I knew about alcohol.
Right.
It wasn't until months later that I figured out Long Island iced tea was an alcoholic beverage.
That's funny, Jay. Does that keep you out of circles also? At the same time, it doesn't get you into certain circles. Does it keep you out of circles if you're that guy?
Well, it's according to who you are. I have friends that drink and get high and all that stuff. It's a circle I don't want to be in. I mean, if they're doing that stuff, I don't need to be around them. But no, I think, it's not a circle. It's not that they keep you out of circles. I just think it's a place that you don't even want to be. It's not even of interest to you. You know what? It didn't interest me to be around Rick James when he was smoking weed and getting high. And Rick was my friend. But nigga, hey Rick, if you're about to get high, dog, I'm gonna holler at you. I'm gone.
Do you have a good Rick James story?
Okay, so I'm working on I'm with him working on the Wonderful album. I got Michael Cooper and coming to Buffalo, New York. So Rick is recording in his home studio. He's got a real, 24-track studio in his house in Buffalo. And so we're working on the song. And so Rick, when I come in, Rick's smoking weed. So I walk out. And right outside the door is the chair, and I'm sitting in the chair, I'm reading the book. And so Rick walks out and he says, "What you doing, little itty bitty motherfucker?" And I said, "Rick, I am sitting here reading a book." "Oh, what, you too good to come into the studio?" I said, "No, Rick, you smoking weed." He said, "Little itty bitty motherfucker, what if I tied you up to the chair and blew weed smoke in your face?" I said, "If you did it, Rick, I'll whoop your ass." And he said, "Little itty bitty motherfucker, you can't even reach me." I'm 5'6.5". Rick ain't but 5'10", 5'11". But Rick talked like he was so much bigger than me, right?
That Dave Chappelle, it's on hit. The Dave Chappelle bit on him. It's pretty right, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the Charlie Murphy story. That's pretty correct.
Rick, listen, I loved Rick. Rick was my friend.
He was wild.
I loved him to the day he died. And Rick was just a cool cat who was brilliant beyond his years. But you could tell, when drugs start, like Rick, even though Rick wasn't as indulgent when he died, the indulgence had hurt him so badly. He was working on a record that was so great, but he wanted too much money. And I kept telling Rick, "Don't look for money. Put the record out. You'll take $250,000 and be good with it, but put this record out." And I wish they would have got that record out, but they never did.
What's the deal with the Loonies? Tell me that you're making bank off the Loonies more than you made off of anything prior. Or does Lean On Me get more money? A number one big one for you.
Yeah, so Lean On Me happened because of pop radio. Pop radio was on Lean On Me way before black radio. Black radio had ignored Lean On Me. But pop radio got so hot on that record, it entered the pop charts at number 39, entered the R&B charts at number 72. It went to number 1 on the pop charts and went to number 2 on the R&B charts.
Lean on me, we are not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
And that's just politics and being able to manipulate. MCA Records at the time was just a stronger entity in the urban market than Warner Brothers. And it wasn't about sales or radio because we dominated both. It's just about position and knowing how to manipulate. But Lean On Me was forced out. So Warner Brothers literally was about to throw in the towel on the album. After Jealousy and then Situation, they basically said, "Okay, there's nothing else here. We're good." And we were at 300 and something thousand copies. So their deal was, "Hey, we're good. Let's go back and do it. Let's do a new record." Right? And then Lean On Me started moving. And then it just broke out pop. So Lean On Me went up the charts, and that's what really established us as an act. And then Why You Treat Me So Bad came after that.
Oh, and I love Why You Treat Me So Bad. Is there a story?
So Why You Treat Me So Bad was going up the charts. And Mo Austin was the chairman of the board of Warner Brothers. And Mo Austin and I had gotten to an altercation. And I told Mo Austin I was going to whoop his ass. And I went to his office and I told Mo Austin how I would beat his ass and everything. And Mo Austin leaned back in his chair and said, "My fights aren't physical." And the next week, "Why You Treat Me So Bad" stopped at number 39.
They pulled the plug.
And I never had another hit record at Warner Brothers.
I will love you more tomorrow than I know I do today. You told me that you'd never hurt me. Girl, you just tore my life apart. Tell me, baby, why'd you do it? Won't you bring me back my heart? I tried to understand it, baby. I searched my heart inside my mind. I searched the depth of my whole soul, baby. There was nothing there to find. You told me that you'd never leave me. Girl, you just went and told a lie. Tell me, baby, why'd you do it? Why'd you make me wanna cry? Why you treat me so bad? I don't know why, baby. Why you treat me so bad? Why you do me the way you do? Why you treat me so bad? I don't know why, baby. Why you treat me so bad? Why you treat me so bad? Boy, just let me tell you how I really.
Are you comfortable with what you did that day, or do you look back on that and go, I fucked up?
I mean, when you're a young person, you make silly mistakes. And I grew up in a neighborhood. So in a neighborhood, the guy who's the toughest guy is the winner. But that's not so in business. And that's not so in regular everyday life. So I learned a valuable lesson about business and about diplomacy. So it was one of the greatest lessons I ever learned. You don't, those are lessons you wish you didn't have to learn from, but what I do, I want to take it back. Nah, it was one of the best teacher moments I have when I'm talking to people that are trying to come in our business, and you start getting full of yourself. So I tell people all the time, I've never been high before, but I've been high before because I've been successful. And when you've been successful, I think success gets you higher than any drug you could ever be on. And so, and if you don't watch it, you can get full of yourself. So as a young man, I got full of myself. That's worse than any high that anybody could be on.
So let's talk some of the sampling that's come along. Have you made money on the Loonies more than you made on anything else?
Give me some brew and I might just chill, but I'm the type that like to light another joint like Cypress Hill. I still do be spit loogies when I puff.
Believe it or not, I made more money off of Jennifer Lopez.
T-I-D-E-S. Nevertheless, I'm hella fresh, rolling joints like a cigarette. So fast across the table like ping pong, I'm gone, beating my chest like King Dragon.
I made a lot of money from the Loonies. Made a lot of money from Puffy.
They don't understand you like I do. You don't understand you. Make love to you like I do. So give it to me. 'Cause I can show you about a real love, and I can promise anything that I do. It's just to satisfy you.
When it hurt, I ease the pain, girl. Caress your frame, get them worries off your brain, girl. I'm in your corner, do what you want, it's your thing, girl. Opposites attract, but we one and the same, girl.
But I made more money from Jennifer Lopez.
Said I wouldn't walk away. Some
J-Lo's version, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Did being popular and getting famous grant you access to some people you thought you'd never meet or be in front of or in the room with?
Well, of course, with success, you are around other people that are successful in your business. So, I've been around everybody, and when you love music and when you know people, like, I manage Cameo, right? But as a kid, I grew up loving Cameo. And Larry Blackman is an enigma, and really a living legend for real. So sometimes, Larry Dunn from Earth, Wind & Fire, I managed Larry Dunn. Larry Dunn was the youngest member of Earth, Wind & Fire. He's the musical director. He's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He's in the Narrators Hall of Fame. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I was over at Ray Parker's house the other day. He built a new recording studio for me, him, and Reggie over there for the Bounce Awards to do congratulations for Cameo for television. So, when I lived the dream of my life, this is what I want to do for my life. So when you can live, what you dreamed of doing for your life, it's an incredible journey. It never ceases to amaze you because you're in awe of the room and the fact that you, more than the people, because once you're doing this for a while, you realize everybody's just people. But it's just the fact that, man, this is my lifestyle. This is what I do for a living. I wake up in the morning and music is what's going to pay my bills. That's amazing.
Was your connection with Warner Brothers the way you got into the movie business? Looks like you did the Madonna movie, Who's That Girl? Had a song on the soundtrack. How was that?
That was cool. All it was Warner Brothers using its leverage because Warner Brothers Films did the movie, and we were a hot item, so they just had us do a song for the soundtrack.
I'm not looking for trouble, but it seems to keep following me. I get up and move on the double. Look at my face and what do you see? You might say that I'm a little crazy, but I'm just being me. You know that I ain't got no worries. This is my life and I'm finally free. And I'm taking it step by step, step by step, step by step, step by step.
If I was smarter, I would have done a lot more of that because there was a lot of money in that kind of business, and I just didn't pay attention to it. That's what youth would do for you.
Jay, you're today, modern day, you're actually doing a radio show now, and you got your own podcast. And what's up with Jay King now? Let's talk about today.
Well, Jay King has a solo album coming out. It's called Helen's Son. Touring with Club Nouveau. We continue to work, getting ready to work on a new album. I do a radio at 97.5 FM in Sacramento, kdeefm.org.
And we have to, as a community, we have to start showing up on Tuesday at 6 o'clock at the city council meetings. They have to see us. They have to know that we are not just going to do this for a temporary fix. Because that's our history, y'all.
And then I do my own J. King Network online radio with Lynn Tolliver is my station manager. We got a whole bunch of shows. We do Monday through Friday. We do a show called Kings in the Morning from 8 to 10 in the morning. And I'm on Periscoping it. And, just moving and then managing different groups, Karen White, Larry Blackman, Larry Dunn, and working in politics, as an activist, as a community activist. But more importantly, doing as much as I can to keep the vibration of life in me. In March 23rd and 24th, we have the Creative Exchange, which is a music conference. You should come. It's creativeexchange.me. We should have you on the radio panel. That'll be great. And I got people coming from all over the world, from South Africa, from Japan, from the UK, and then all over the country, right here in Sacramento, in one of our inner city neighborhoods, Del Paso Heights, at the Urban League. And I do it every year. It's my third year. And it's an incredible event. 350 people. Tom Silverman's going to be there this year. Lee Bailey's going to be there this year. Karen White's going to be there this year. Brian Morgan, Gary Taylor, songwriter, Derek D.O.A. Allen, Reggie Calloway. It's going to just over 50 speakers.
And who are the people you're focused on that are going to come visit you at that seminar?
People that are in the arts, whether it's we got a panel with comedians, with Daniel Dugar, and Derek Muhammad, and Mike Whitfield, and a couple other people. It's called Arts Politics. Then we have independent filmmakers. We got Paul Goldsby and Alvin Williams and a bunch of filmmakers. Then, if you're in the music business, Tom Silverman is an independent distributor, with Tommy Boy Records. Then you got Steve Ripley from the UK. He does radio promotions in the UK. You have Edwin Mashigo, a concert promoter out of South Africa. He brings groups to South Africa. You have Mas Yamamoto, a distributor out of Japan. If you have product, he buys product from independents for the Japanese market.
I see.
So a little bit of everybody here.
Do you have fun on the radio?
I love radio. I love radio because I get to do my opinion, and I can put people on mute or hang up on them anytime I want to, especially because it's my network. So I always enjoy telling people that that don't try to call my show and boss nothing. That a black man owns this station, and it's me. And so it's really fun.
Oh, you probably get paid. Click. Sorry about that. Click.
No. I'll put people on mute. Like some, it's internet radio, so you get a lot of what do you call it? When guys come in and just to harass you, god dang it. Trolls. You get a lot of trolls. Trolls used to call our show and just want to say nigger. Right?
So come on.
No, so it was good because I would know, because they would hesitate when I opened up the mic. So right when they hesitate, I put them on mute. I said, now this is a troll calling you guys. Now he wanted to say nigger, but because I'm one of the best nigger sayers this side of Mississippi, he's got to say nigger better than I do. Now everybody knows the kind of nigger I am, and y'all know niggers I don't like, because I'm a nigger like that, right? And that nigga right there is cooler than a motherfucker. And this nigga over here, this nigga better not say nothing to me, because I do not like that nigga. Now, if he can say nigga better than me, I want you guys to tell him, and we're going to give him the Nigger Saying Award. And then I'd open up the microphone, and then I'd be like, okay, now we just took the power out the word nigger. What would you like to say, sir? And actually, they call me the Troll Whisperer, because I probably have more trolls call my show that get converted to listeners than any other podcast on the radio, on the internet. So I really enjoy trolls because they help make a show interesting. But on Kings in the Morning, we talk about everything from cryptocurrencies to vagina licking. So there's no subject that's off limits.
That might have been, I think Man Parrish talked about something else. It wasn't vagina licking, it was the opposite. But I think that's the first time vagina licking's been said on the podcast. So, all right, Jay King, thank you.
I'm an original. I'm a first timer.
Hey, tell me your relationship real quick with our mutual friend Chris Collins and what it was like, that Sacramento radio battle, because not only do I like to talk about the songs, I'm very interested in the rhythm radio movement, which was happening at that time, and breaking Rock 40 and getting the dance groups on, the Sweet Sensation, the Cover Girls, the people that really broke it wide open for everybody else to get their stuff on the radio. What was that time like in Sacramento with Quad and Croy and FM 102? And did you get stuck in a radio battle?
Well, Chris Collins was an envelope pusher in Sacramento. He pushed the envelope on radio. He was probably one of the wildest guys that ever came to radio in Sacramento, especially early on. He would do things at the FCC. He would always be in some almost in trouble. You know how a guy, but he really was a pioneer when it came to breaking records. And he was one of the first guys to play Rumors And then one of the first guys to play Lean on Me, probably at the forefront of helping to break Lean on Me to be recognized as a hit record, where even the record company had to wake up and get their heads out their asses.
Because he was in Sacramento, right? Right.
Because he's in Sacramento, yeah.
Right.
So Chris Collins and I, we have a brotherhood of a relationship because of his commitment to the music I was making at that time.
He might be your troll. You never know, that son of a bitch.
Now, you know what? If I was Donald Trump, he would definitely be my troll because he can't stand Trump.
Where can people find you all over the place on your socials? Give up all your stuff here one more time.
So my website is jayking.me, jayking.me. On Facebook, I'm jayking, 3. On Twitter, I'm at Club Nouveau, Nouveau. You can also find us on Facebook at The Club Nouveau, at THE Club Nouveau. And where else can you? Oh, Jack Trey, JAKTRE on Periscope, at Jack Trey, JAKTRE on Periscope. And www.creativeexchange.me. That's the music summit we'll be doing March 23rd and 24th.
I appreciate you being on the show with me, Jay King. Thank you for telling me about the old school. Right there, graduating from high school, I got into radio, and you're right in the cusp for a young popper breaker mixer turning into a radio DJ. I was having a good time along for the ride with you, whether you knew it or not. So thank you for that.
No, thank you. I appreciate you, man. And come on anytime. And Aaron, you should come to the music summit and speak on some of my panels in Sacramento.
I'd love to, man. Hey, that's Jay King, everybody. Looky there. Oh, don't worry about it. He's only 5'6". Don't worry about that. It's okay. I'm skying over you at 5'8", man. I didn't know that. Shoot.
Oh my!
Hey, if I come up there, we'll play some hoop too.
No, look, we're the same height. I might be 5'8". I might be 5'7", 5'8", 5'6", 5'8", same thing.
Ah, shit. All right. Thank you for being on my show, buddy. I appreciate it.
You got to know. Thank you, man.
Tell me why not, fellas? You let some people guide you in the wrong direction. From the truth you cannot hide, so don't go look for no protection. I didn't understand it then, and you know I just can't now. You know I tried to help you out, and now it's me you're trying to clown. But let me tell you, partner, you won't come out ahead. All this jealousy will do is make you lose it all instead. Jealousy. someone and take their fame and glory. If it hasn't happened to you, just give yourself some time. I think you know the symptoms when a jealous person drops a line. I think I'll write a letter that sums it up the best. I'll have to write it in big letters with my business. Please don't mess up. Jealousy.
That'll do it. Thanks to J. King, Club Nouveau. Thank you for making us one of the most listened to music podcasts in the world. I love to look at it. Go look again on iTunes. Go look for the Old School Rewind. I ain't bullshitting. Go, girl. Your turn.
You've been listening to the Old School Rewind with Randy Bubba Black. Share and subscribe now at oldschoolrewind.com.
That's right.